See if YongHwa can take this win and get some momentum back, because I feel if Leenock wins it, it's going to be so hard to come back in this series, especially in this matchup against such an experienced player in Leenock. Let's jump into game number 2 right now.
Up here in the top right of Nimbus, the red Protoss player, it is YongHwa of MVP.
Yes, JKS, that probe is making. We're cross spawns. And over here across the way at 7 o'clock, it's Leenock in the blue. Good creep spread in that last game towards the end. Linking up everything. Having every sort of tech imaginable for Zerg. I mean, I guess the only unit he didn't make was Mutas, which he planned on making, but YongHwa had the triple Stargate.
He did make a bunch of Mutas, actually. Like a,
that's
huge
right. Yeah,
swell, but eventually they did get taken out.
Yeah,
by
they
all
weren't in
those
his
Phoenixes.
they weren't in his late game comp.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wanted to make that big Muta switch, and then he had to go into the Corruptors. I believe YongHwa was ahead in almost every way. He was just a step in front of Leenock, but then he just kind of fell apart in the late game. I'm not sure what went wrong for him, but
he was never able to get a huge enough advantage over Leenock where he was able to end the game or kill Leenock in one blow. He was getting small advantages, but Leenock was sticking in. And once Leenock got that in-game composition and he was able to take out that left side base, YongHwa was just not mining enough minerals and gas. He just did not have the macro behind what he was doing, and he just fell apart slowly, like you were saying.
Swarms and spines, man. That's all you need to hold on to that base. The Locust coming out constantly. You got 8 spine crawlers at the top of the ramp. If the Protoss is going to commit, the Protoss is really going to have to commit. Okay, Nexus comes down here. We are going to see that delayed forge. Oh, actually going to go gate. A much smarter choice on this map. I was going to say it's going to be the last thing Leenock expects to see a cannon or anything like that, but it's just too hard to do this on this map unless you get lucky with a scout, unless you send 2 probes out.
And Leenock on this map, instead of doing what he did on Sejong, he actually goes for a hatch not at the back door and then puts down a pool.
Yeah, I like to take the outside base here because, rather, I like it when players take the outside base. I don't play Zerg. I don't like to take that base, but I think it's smart because if you can secure that base, your third base is basically free. And you always want to mine out your more exposed bases first. Just like I was talking about last game, Leenock's exposed base mined out first. Obviously, it's not a base you want to ideally take, but because of that situation, and YongHwa didn't pressure that, by the time he could kill it, even the gases were actually depleted. So, just something to keep in mind. The bases that are easily defended, you want to be able to have those minerals later on.
So, speed being researched with that gas that I actually didn't see in the beginning of the game that he took, but he did take it. And he keeps 1 drone in there, actually. So he's going to keep mining a bit of gas here.
Yeah, that's Leenock for you. Always up to something with that gas. Always going to be able to make that faster transition to tech. Might get a quick lair. And we're going to see this probe. Looks like he was thinking about hiding something. He's lurking around over there.
He's still
gonna
lurking,
get scouted, though. I don't think he's going to hide anything. Well, he's going to see the Overlord in a second. Unless Leenock's like super patient, like turns the Overlord around. Because the probe can't see it. Oh, he's doing that. He's doing just that. Leenock is really smart, man. Because if the probe doesn't know that he's been scouted and he hides something there, look, he's even keeping the lings there. He's like just going to wait and see. I would even wait for the lings. Like if you hide a Stargate or like a Twilight Counselor or something, then you could actually just wait until it's finished and then kill it. I don't think he's hiding anything. I think he's just keeping the probe over there for a later scout. But Leenock is very...
Maybe some pylons as well a little bit later.
Leenock is very concerned about this probe. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and kill it. Speed's done.
Yeah. That's 4 gates up total right now.
Leenock's like a psychic. He's like, as soon as you commit to the 4 gates, I'm going to shut down your ability to make them work.
He's also got an Overlord to the north of the base. I think he's going to poke here at the front, see if he can see anything. He's going to push all the way up. to maybe just pull back, wait a little bit here, and maybe send the Overlord through.
Spore's coming up right now. Leenock doesn't have a scout on the gates.
Yeah. The gates are in a good position to not get scouted as well. They're all the way in the back behind the minerals. But one thing that Leenock can easily see is a third base coming up. So he should be pretty okay to just cancel those spores.
One spore is canceled at the main. The other spore, by the way, was not at his mineral line. It was actually at the front of his ramp where he was concerned about possible DTs. A fair concern when you see a probe out in the middle of the map like that. Very wise decision-making here by Leenock. He knows he doesn't know, and he's going to actually play safe at every turn. You see this wall coming up here at the third base. And Leenock has just sent his earlies around the map. I think he was expecting something to come his way. It just never happened.
Do have a large amount of gates so far. No tech that I saw, at least. Just only gates here and a forge. And just so many of these sentries coming out. He's got, I think, 9? Yeah, he's got 9 right now. And if Leenock's paying attention, that's a lot of sentries there. Did he scout that pylon, by the way, over towards the left? Because
no, he did not.
He's got a unit really close to it.
Yeah, he doesn't see it. It's just not. It's just right out of the Ling's vision range. Although he did see the probe coming now, and
no probes. No probes there. Only gateways here. Leenock's going for a very aggressive attack, but already Leenock has totally... Did I say Leenock there twice?
Yeah, you did.
YongHwa is going for a very aggressive attack, whereas Leenock has read it pretty nicely.
And he sees the pylon now, but the second pylon's already been queued, because YongHwa knew about this, so he's going to get another warp in here for sure. Oh, Force Field just barely missed there. This is such a scary attack with no Roach Warren. At least he has speed. He's going to try to flank here, but that's way too many Zealots warping in on the back. Force Fields need to be placed. He placed them at the last second. Still good enough, though.
I like what Leenock's doing. He's just buying a lot of time for his spines to get up. Once he has those and a sizable amount of roaches, it's going to be much easier to hold this off. Although he's not making roaches yet. He's got a very big bank, but he's only making lings. Is he just going to counterattack?
Well, I think what he thinks is that with the spines and the lings, he can actually hold this off, and then the lings can just immediately counterattack.
Infestation pit.
Yeah, he's really confident he's going to hold this. Spines are going to just wreck those sentries, actually, pop them like balloons, and then here come those lings to clear everything else up. I feel like YongHwa might have wanted to consider recalling. He still could, but not anymore. Decided to do another round of warp-ins and commit to the attack, but this is such a bad spot to be in. I mean, the attack isn't over, but he lost a ton of his expensive units there. He lost all of his sentries, which means that he has to remake them, which costs more gas, and they don't have a lot of force fields. So with counterattacks like this, come over, kill his pylon, threaten the units to stay back while he keeps getting more units. Finally starts to make roaches now that he's going to have roach speed. And he's getting an infestor. He's going infestor. See, this is what I'm saying, man. Leenock loves those infestors in this matchup.
This is a very interesting style we haven't seen in a while. And that was just like a disgustingly good cleanup there by Leenock with only lings and spines. The queen in the back as well.
The transition point for YongHwa just... it doesn't exist. This sentry is going to get targeted down without even a force field. He actually could have just run into the main base. He didn't know that. He's going to just engage on here. Force more force fields to be used, then run away. He's just always threatening this third base. Doesn't want to get his lanes caught over there, so he hasn't committed to that. Going to pick off another sentry.
These lings do have +1, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
That's why they're so strong.
And now the roaches come in. Just keeping this army so small. And eventually he's going to overwhelm him.
And this is so terrible for YongHwa because he's going blink when he's got infestors on the other side of the plane. So he's going up against Ling Infestor with a splash of roaches with only blink stalkers.
And only +1 about to finish when +2 for Leenock's Lings is about to finish. YongHwa is in an awkward spot here. He definitely defended that attack pretty well, though. I feel like Leenock might have overcommitted just slightly. But if these infestors get the fungals they want, he just wins the game. If they don't, though, YongHwa comes back. Let's see. This is actually all about micro blink. If it's not done, you know, this could be a poor engagement. Okay, he's going to have to turn around here. He wants to just trap those Stalkers. Notice Leenock isn't even going to try to force him to turn around. He's just going to try to catch this army.
Yeah.
Blink will be done, so he might be able to dodge some of the fungals.
He's going to have to cancel that base here. But he is baiting YongHwa into a bad position. He still has not shown those infestors. And here we go. There's the first fungal, and it gets almost all of the Stalkers.
That's the perfect fungal he needed. You could just chain the fungals now, crush this army.
And the force fields are way too late as well. All the Lings get through.
That's like lights out in this game, basically.
These Lings have +2 right now.
Yeah. Huge warp in the Stalkers, but this is YongHwa is basically all in right now. He needs to make sure he can avoid the fungals. If he can do that, this army is incredibly strong. Leenock has to respect it. Adding more roaches in right now because he needs a little bit more tankiness to this army. +1 is on the way for air. Preparing that transition as well. Look at all the gas he's got.
He does have to take a 4th base. It has been 3-3 for quite a while. The reason why Leenock has been okay for so long is because the tech of YongHwa has been so crappy. I mean, he was only on Blink here. And finally, he's adding that Robo. He's finally getting +2.
Ooh, trying to pick off those infestors at the back, but it's going to cost him big. He's going to lose a huge group of Stalkers here. And yeah, like you said, YongHwa's tech is just, it's low level. He's got weak upgrades. He doesn't have charge even. Trying to get a Dark Shrine to turn this game around. That's not a bad choice, but it's a desperate choice. Now his Stalkers are all stuck together here where they have to funnel out against fungals. Not what he wants here. Blinks awkwardly to the side. Now the roaches are in a great spot. And he can just fungal growth on top of these Stalkers if they blink forward. Now they blink forward, and guess what? The fungal is waiting for it. Oh, he's not able to get close enough, though. Does get a huge group.
Some of them, yeah.
And a lot of probes going down here. Leenock is doing all of this while he secures that 4th base.
And he has a huge reinforcement of Lings coming through. And these are the +2 Lings that he didn't quite have with the army before. And now they're just going to ravage this 3rd base. He killed so many probes in the main as well.
This won't end the game, but on his way out, he might be able to kill that 4th base.
He may just be able to. And he's killed like 24 probes now.
I don't know about this commitment to the Nexus with those Lings. He's going to get the 4th, it looks like. Let me check how many Lings are over there. Actually, only 2.
DT in the main. This could do some damage.
Yeah, this is why that DT play is a good follow-up to this. As Leenock is just so focused on the attack. His defense is obviously lackluster here. Making 4 Overseers. So many kills on this DT, actually. And YongHwa is actually ahead in probes. Finally takes that out. But I think it's actually just running. The thing is, let me check some stuff really quick. Leenock didn't know about that 4th base in time, so I think that's the reason why he didn't go on the retreat and kill that, because he could have gotten that for free. But the Mutalisk switch here, let's see how well YongHwa responds to it. He has 22 Stalkers out, but Stalkers alone are not enough on this map if you don't have cannons up and the Mutalisks just get into your base.
They've got +2, which will definitely help, but like you said, this is Nimbus we're talking about. Those mutas have so much space to just run all over this map. So here we go, 12 mutas on the way.
And here they come. He knows about them, but he still hasn't prepared any defense at this base. He might even decide to target that Nexus down. Look at this, drawing the Stalkers away, and now that 4th base is exposed for the Lings.
This is the most annoying Zerg play to play against, where they're just all over your base, and you can't be at 2 places at once. As the Protoss. Now he can just fly into the main, and he's got that awkward wall at the front. Link Stalkers will be able to come in here, but again, now he can just fly to the back.
Yep, and he's coming with that 2nd wave of Mutalisks right into the 3rd base as well. Actually, it's Lings, and are they going to get that?
Oh, 1 health!
1 health! Send a Muta in there, Leenock. Special Ops Muta. Like,
where's
one infestor drops an infested
Look at
Terran.
these guys, they can go in. Well, I think the Nexus Cannon is up
Those
right
Lings
now.
are like, we are not going in there.
Oh,
missed fungal, but it still catches it. I can't believe he's actually not going to try to kill that Nexus with anything. This base is going to go down, but it's the backup base, so he's okay with it. Oh, those fungals are so sick! He might have even wanted to engage that, man. He just chained those fungals. Leenock is literally flying circles around YongHwa's army. Kills the Mothership Core as well, a bit out of position there. He's going to need more than 3 fungals and a Spine Crawler to hold this push off, though.
It looks like he just wants to go for a base trade.
It's a perfect choice in this situation.
He's got enough mutas. He's got 30, 10 more on the way. He's about to have 40 mutas. And there's nothing for defense back here at YongHwa's base. YongHwa is forced into a base trade, and it's a terrible situation. He can easily move the drones from his 4th base, Leenock can, and go make hatcheries in the top left, bottom right. Doesn't matter.
There are 3 probes left on the map.
There are 40 drones. You can see a blob of them. No, those are meters.
The 3 probes are 1 to the bottom right, 1 at the in-base natural, and the 3rd one... Okay, now there's only 2 probes left. As I was looking for the 3rd one, it died. So there's 1 probe to the bottom right in a hidden base. He has enough money to make a Nexus, but I just don't think it's going to matter. He's never going to be able to fight these Mutalisks with Ling support. There's no Infestors left on the map, so that's something to keep in mind. Well, he's going to find the Nexus too. That really hurts, actually.
Nice spot on the hatchery in the top left of the base, or rather map as well. And Leenock's just been slowly mining here at his back base for a long time.
The Stalkers are just caught here too.
This is the flock of mutas we're talking about. This is 42 mutas. He's got everyone right here. And since the Stalkers were split up, he can't actually fight against this. Leenock takes out a huge chunk. Like you said before, he sees that Nexus, and he can just easily just fly over there, kill it.
That's what he's going to do, I think, because he knows about these buildings, and I think he's thinking that's got to be your last Nexus. This is actually like the last structure. He's got this, an assimilator, and a pylon, and this is the only probe. It's about to get eliminated.
Oh, YongHwa.
That's it. He gets
GG.
eliminated.
No
Well,
GG called, but...
Well, he couldn't. I mean, he died before he could type it, but...
So Leenock takes game number 2. Leenock's style is just so fun to watch, man. Just the Ling Infestor Roach style in the early game, and then that switch into 42 mutas and forcing a base trade. YongHwa, his aggression was lackluster. His attack was pretty bad for a long time. He was just trying to survive off of his economy for a while and only making Stalkers, but Leenock knew exactly how to counter that.
Fun game to watch.